My mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. This is a quote from the movie Forrest Gump, directed by Robert Zemeckis, released in 1994. Forrest Gump's life could have dramatically changed if the ending of the movie would have just been a little bit different. First, I will tell you a summary of the movie. Then I will describe the real ending, and finally I will give an alternate ending. Let's begin with a summary of the movie Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is a simple man with a low IQ, but good intentions. He was bullied for having leg braces when he was young, which is when Jenny yells, "Run, Forrest, run." While he is running, he runs into a football field and gets recruited from the University of Alabama. During his tenure, he made the All-American team, met President Kennedy, and got his degree. Periodically, he would visit Jenny at her college, but Jenny was far too concerned with pursuing her own hippie dreams than she was with being with Forrest. After that, Forrest gets drafted into the Army and meets a lot of good people. He gets shipped to Vietnam, where he buddies up with a guy named Bubba. Forrest and Bubba pinky promise that they will go into the shrimping business after the war is over. Unfortunately, Bubba dies, but Forrest does manage to save Lieutenant Dan, who lost both of his legs during a firefight. While recovering in a veterans hospital, Forrest tries ping pong for the first time and travels as a ping pong player to promote Army recruitment, and even travels to the communist China to play all of their best players. After a while, he is discharged and heads back to America, and where he immediately runs into Jenny in Washington, D.C. Naturally, Forrest then travels down to Louisiana to start a shrimping business with Lieutenant Dan. Now that I've told you about the summary of the movie, I will give you the real ending. So after Forrest's mom dies, Forrest begins to live in his mom's old house until one day Jenny shows up on their doorstep. Jenny and Forrest then begin to live with each other until one day, after Forrest has proposed, Jenny runs away again. After that, Forrest then also starts running. He travels back and forth across America until eventually he gets tired and stops running. Here's a video of Forrest Gump running.
I just felt like running.
That's you. I can't believe it's really you.
For some reason, when I was doing, it seemed to make sense to me.
I mean, it was like an alarm went off in my head, you know? I said, here's a guy that's got his act together. Here's somebody who's got it all figured out. Here's somebody who has the answer. I'll follow you anywhere, Mr. Gump.
So, I got company. And after that, I got more company. And then, even more people joined in. Somebody later told me it gave people hope. Now, I don't know anything about that, but some of those people asked me if I could help them out.
Hey, man! Hey, listen, I was wondering if you might help me. Listen, I'm in the bumper sticker business, and I've been trying to think up a good slogan. Since you have been such a big inspiration to the people around here, I thought you might be able to help me jump into the... Whoa, man! You just ran through a big pile of dog shit!
It happens
What, shit?
sometimes. And some years later, I heard that fella did come up with a bumper sticker slogan, and he made a lot of money off of it.
Back home after 3 years of running, he gets a letter from Jenny that says that she wants him to visit her. When he visits her, it turns out that Jenny is sick with AIDS, and also they have a son together who she named Forrest Jr. After a while, Jenny and Forrest end up getting married, and not long after that, Jenny dies. Forrest then lives on to take care of their kid, Forrest Jr. Now that you know the real ending to the movie Forrest Gump, I will now give you my alternate ending. So after high school graduation, Forrest Jr. would graduate and go with his dad to the shrimping boat. Forrest would then teach Forrest Jr. how to shrimp, and they would go on a father-son excursion all across America. Some of the things they would do would include running, shrimping, and playing ping pong. Forrest Jr. will then go to the University of Alabama to get his doctorate degree, and shortly after, his mom, Jenny, will get AIDS. Forrest Jr. will then work as hard as he can to try to help his mom with this disease. While Jenny is laying around, all of Forrest's old friends would come to visit. Like, some of the friends would include Lieutenant Dan and all of Bubba's family. While everyone is hanging around Jenny, Forrest Jr. would go sit by the tree and begin thinking. Eventually, Forrest Jr. would find the cure for the AIDS and save his mom, Jenny. In conclusion, I told you about the summary of the movie Forrest Gump. Then I told you about the real ending, and finally I gave you an alternate ending. Forrest Gump's life could have been changed dramatically if the ending of the movie would have just been a little bit different. With everything that Forrest Gump went through in the movie and in the alternate ending, all of his mama's sayings definitely applied to his life.